Alec in the break, he got a haircut. I told him he looks like the jersey, man. It looks like they got that. He said they got it cut. He just goes in and asks for the jersey. And I'm like, well, they hit it dead on, baby. They nailed it. Verdell, were you on a couple weeks ago when we had his baby pictures?
Yeah, I've been seeing those, man.
He's lucky I didn't bust him out because someone sent me, I think it was his mom, sent me his baby picture, and he looked dead up like whoever that was we were commenting on. I'm not going to bust him out, but just bringing some fun. Verdell, Tim said, have your son come fix your computer.
Right. He's way smarter than me in it.
Alec Lasley joining us from thehoosier.com. Slowing down a little bit with basketball news, finally, thank goodness. But it doesn't stop. The recruiting continues. Visits are getting set up now. Merrimack added to Indiana's schedule. So there's always something to talk about, Alec.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably the slowest it's been in the past 2 months, and it's still almost every day there's at least something new coming out, whether it's a visit that's starting to get scheduled, some other guys that are planning to visit, or like we saw yesterday, a game finally added to the non-conference schedule for next year. So it's still a fun time. Obviously, in about 2 weeks here is when coaches can start to get out on the road and actually watch some of these prospects live. So that'll be fun. Obviously, we didn't get that last year with COVID, so it'll be good to have the coaches back out on the road, recruiting back in full swing, and then obviously visits starting to take place here in a few weeks. So this is kind of the one, I guess, moment where there's not going to be a lot going on. In the next couple of weeks, it'll ramp back up even more.
Yeah, the AAU is not hit full force yet. Talked a little bit about that with Verdell, but as those tournaments kick into play and kids arriving on campus, this is just a little lull because you still got high schools. There's still people that are still in high school right now finishing up. And we talked to Miller Kopp. I think he's not going to be able to get here till the 12th. So it's there's that lull right now, but it will come together soon. And when it does, everybody's going to be going to work.
Yeah, exactly. And you're going to see June is a super busy month already. I think there's 3 officials as of now. There's 2 more unofficials. So already just between those 4 or 5 guys, you have a lot of guys that'll be on campus, and that's not even all the visits that are going to take place at this point. So in the next probably two weeks, you'll start to see even more visits scheduled for June and July. And then again, you're probably going to start to hear some more 2022 names pop up once the coaches can actually get on the road here. Some more offers probably will be put out there as well, kind of mid-June, once we're actually able to see some of the prospects live for the coaches, that is. And then after that, get into July, and then you start to have some actually NCAA sanctioned events, which will be fun as well for the kids. So we're starting to get back into full swing of the full kind of recruiting calendar, which has been so, off kilter here the past probably 12 to 16 months.
Tim's asking about 2023 Caleb Glenn from Louisville Male High School.
Yeah, the previous Indiana staff was in contact with him. Again, that 2023, so not a huge priority at the moment. Again, a lot of it's been put on.
Indiana does not get a lot of kids they don't recruit many kids from Kentucky. I mean, no, it doesn't produce a lot of talent.
Former Indiana. I mean, you're going to see with this new staff. I mean, they're going after La Lumiere kids, so you're going to see a lot of new schools pop up, high schools that is, that Indiana typically doesn't recruit out of. Probably some new cities, some new states, and that's just because this staff has so many good connections all around the country. And Mike Woodson knows what he wants and is pretty much going to go out and get it. We've seen him do that just in the first 2 months of his job right now.
Yeah, the importance, Verdell, of Indiana kids and all that is not – it's not that it's not important, but the important thing is to put an elite basketball team on the floor, an elite winning team on the floor, and win. Now, of course, you're going to have Indiana kids, but you don't have to have a roster full of Indiana kids. And if you can get better talent someplace else at that particular time, because a lot of times it's timing, they're going to do that. And I think some fans are just going to have to realize that. I mean, you look at Verdell Jones right there. Look at Charlie Miller, who's on. Neither of those guys are from Indiana. Keith Smart, Dean Garrett, who was instrumental in winning Indiana's last national championship, were not from Indiana. So that's not, I think that's become this psychological mind block for older fans.
I definitely think, this coaching staff right here, they have such a wide range of different coaches that they can touch different markets. And that's huge, man. You look at the North Carolinas, the Dukes, the Kansas, even, all these top programs, they're going outside and finding players from all over and bringing them in. And, there's a plethora of talent here in Indiana. So, but if you could add, different pieces from around the country to the top talent here in Indiana, I mean, you're looking at a team that you can win with every single year. And I think that's what Coach Mike Woodson is doing.
Absolutely. And they're putting together the best team that they could put together, Alec. And that is, like we've seen, doesn't matter where they're coming from. But they're not going to be ignoring Indiana. But now with the transfer portal as well, that changes things immensely. I mean, because it depends on what you need at the time.
Yeah, absolutely. And so I think you're going to start to see a lot of recruiting classes go down from 4 to 5 guys in general to maybe 1 or 2, and you're going to be completely satisfied with those 1 to 2 because you're probably, as we've seen with Indiana getting 3 transfers this offseason, you're probably going to get 1 to 2 transfers almost every single year. And if you're not, that's going to put you more behind the 8 ball than it would be if you're not recruiting well out of high school. A lot of these programs, I mean, look at what some of the better programs over the past few years have done, and they seem to always plug in 1 or 2 transfers that have played. Doesn't matter if they played high major or mid major, but they've played college basketball before. They know what the game is like. They know how physical the college game is like, and it just puts them way out in front when it comes to putting a good product on the floor. And it's just going to be a lot different moving forward. And you're going to see the transfer portal. We've talked about it before. The transfer portal be kind of the high school recruiting aspect of it, where you're going to see a lot more time put into the transfer portal than you will mid majors, than you will JUCO, than you will high school guys. That's just how the game's going. And obviously Mike Woodson's off to a great start. So if that says anything about where Indiana can go moving forward, after we actually see some full games and see what Mike Woodson can actually do with the development of players, I think you're going to see Indiana potentially turn into a huge transfer market. And, you look at it and why would you not, as a college player, want to go to Indiana? Obviously, the tradition is there. It hasn't been there recently, but just in the past 2 months, you've seen what Mike Woodson can do to the program, the energy around the program, the energy around Indiana. And so I think you're going to see that as a top market for a lot of transfers moving forward.